Hey guys, it's Steven. Got a Bytes price update for you here. We left off on the 29th. This was last Friday here. And as you can see, we did find support again at this was the weekly first support at about $4.20. And since then, we've been just kind of hovering around and above, starting to see some net purchases coming in as of recently. So overall, looking pretty good. So I'm happy with this price range and this volatility right now. It's actually creating some opportunities for me. So just to kind of go over this week's pivot. So I took the highs and the lows and the close of the previous week, and I was able to get some pivot here. So we've got this first support at $3.70. And then we also have a central pivot at $5.20. And then we have 660 as the first resistance, 820, and then 980 at the top of the range there. So overall, I like the fact that we have this newer central pivot here at about 530, and we are starting to see this above below type of battle here. So that's and then also seeing that in the previous week definitely tells me that this is a important number here. Technically, I feel like most people are just at a point where before they had no problem selling, especially above 10 or whatever number it may be, they had no problem selling. But, at a certain point, is it even worth selling? Maybe you have to wait a little bit longer for it to be worth selling, if you to get your bag to recharge. So maybe that's what we're seeing here, just a little bit of slowdown. But, it just seems like what's the point of selling now at such a low valuation? The upside definitely seems better than the downside to me. We'll definitely just gonna keep watching this and see if this bull bear pivot can get which way this will go. So just to switch to the bytes to Ethereum ratio here, pretty similar setup where the previous week we've had this support act very well, and now we're starting to move above this central pivot. So this ETH one was much more simple. So you have like this 25 and you have this 15 low, and then you have this 20 middle part here where we ended the week. So that's it. That's simply where I'm using the support and resistance. So I did create a liquidity pool about 3 days ago. And that was after buying this dip and then seeing it rise above very nicely. Obviously a very good opportunity to trade. I was able to buy like 600 bytes worth of yeah, 600 bytes, and as you can see, it went from 14 to 24, so a pretty nice move. And now I went ahead, and after I saw that, I wanted to basically put my bytes to work and do it in a way that I won't be mad if the price keeps going higher, and that if it goes back down, I'll be fine too. So the strategy I created was to create a liquidity position from this 18 to 20 area. And the reason was I just felt like this was a good number. Just looking at the chart, I felt like, obviously I saw this could be where the central pivot would be this week. And I just wanted somewhere where there'd be a lot of volume, and not only that, this is technically going to be where I sell my my liquidity tokens, because since I bought them here, and if I put them in the LP here and they keep going higher, I essentially sell all my tokens. So I want it to be high enough so that I'm okay with that. But I also wanted it to be low enough so that it's actually creating some buy support as well. And that's exactly what happened. So it's been 3.4 days now. I invested, let's see here where it shows. So right now it just moved out of range. It's been moving in and out pretty well. So far it's been able to gain 745, or actually $796 in fees. The return on investment is 13%. The APR is at 1400%, and that's just this annualized. Yeah, I mean, overall looking pretty good. Just gonna let this ride out. And then I also created today a support position. So I want to be ready for anything. So if the price goes down, I'm going to be happy, because if for it to move down, especially from here, I'm going to have to get more fees. And if it comes down even lower, I'm going to be able to accumulate at a very cheap price. I definitely would not mind that at all. And if we keep going higher, that's okay too, because I'm earning in bytes, and the higher the price, the better. And I still have a pretty good amount of bytes, ready for just to have. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good position now, and I'm going to just keep putting my bytes to work the best I can, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. So a few things I wanted to go over is volume still relatively low, nothing too crazy, but the fees are still kicking out pretty nicely, 1,300 over the last 24 hours here. So, something I could definitely go over is like, why are we always seeing these sell-offs here, and what's really behind it? So the math that I look at is how many bytes tokens are being generated per day. So the answer I found was about 7,500 bytes per day. So if you look over here, the average amount of, here's the supply here, that are being claimed into existence from the NFTs. It might be a little bit more than 7,500, but just to keep it conservative and easy, let's just call it, we have $7,500, 7,500 bytes coming into existence every day. And you multiply that by $5 a byte, that's $37,000, 500, $37,000 being distributed to the community. Multiply that by 7, that's $262,000 being distributed to the community every week, right? And then you divide that by the price of Ethereum. So about 90 ETH, 93 Ethereum being given to the community to either, with their choice, that's what the bytes are worth, to either hold or sell. So what we're seeing is most people have been selling just nonstop. Basically, there might be some buying in between, but overall, obviously net selling. And why has it been going down so much? Well, look at how much is in the liquidity pool here. So I already showed you my liquidity positions here, and the reasoning behind it too is there was literally nothing here. This was just all empty. So look at these spots. There's only 0.15 Ethereum locked in this zone right here. What does that mean? This is a 2% trading zone right here. So because there was nothing here, I just told you we have 93 Ethereum coming into the ecosystem being distributed through Bytes every week, 93 ETH. It only takes 2 ETH to take this price from here all the way down to here, right? So from 20 all the way to where we just were, a 33% drop. Look at how, and especially, this is my liquidity here. Imagine what would have happened if my liquidity isn't here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just 1 ETH right here to move it, 15% down. 1 ETH is 15% negative. So that's what we're seeing, is there's just literally nothing here to support the price. And what that means is it's opportunity. You saw I've been able to make $250 a day just over the last 3 days, just by coming in and filling this void here so that people can buy and sell into this. So a little bit more reasonable liquidity up here, but this is still pretty low, like 0.28 ETH. I mean, it's not much, right? So just wanted to point that out. That's the reason why we've been having these huge sell-offs. So moving on, market cap, 2.7 million, nothing too crazy there. So for the blood token, so the previous video was on the 29th here. I mentioned that I did buy this dip in preparation to kind of trade it. And I did that. I just did a quick profit, nothing too crazy. I definitely didn't sell the top here, but I did make a quick trade. I wanted to get out, and that's what I did. So, but after the UFO drop for the blood token, people claim their UFOs, they spent their blood, and then we had this nice sell-off here because there's just excess blood in the market, and now we're back at a good value. So can we go lower? Yes. can I start making pivot charts and seeing maybe where this is going? I don't really think so. This is all kind of just guessing, looking at the market cap valuation, 2.8 million. I'm sorry, 28 million. And then you look at Bytes is 2.7 million. This is valued at 10x what Neo Tokyo is, which is, I think, a pretty fair value. So I'm still going to be making comparisons from Neo Tokyo and this Imposters ecosystem. So we're just going to keep an eye on this. Let's just definitely check out the Bytes to the blood to Ethereum ratio. So I did want to watch the 66 zone here, and then I like 540 as a number two. So where would a value be? So if you want to just kind of think mathematically, so you have this obvious value range. So let's just call this value range at 540 and say that you want to make a quick 20%. So you have 540 and you want to make 20%. Let's just say, let's just multiply it here. 0.8. So about 430, right? So if you come down anywhere below 440 here, you're able to make over 20% gain just to get back to a nice valuation. So I might be doing some trades on that. And as you can see, 430 to make it 20%, it almost happened here. So any other dip here definitely looks like a good opportunity. So moving on quickly, volume spiked up for the UFO mint, but I don't expect that to be going on much. I think we're going to go back down into this lull here until the game comes out and stuff. And I just don't think the liquidity is offering enough opportunity because this is actually like one ETH locked in each one. This is actually pretty fair. So not as much opportunity as like Neo Tokyo has more volume and less support, right? So we just saw Neo Tokyo has like 0.16 in some of these ranges. So that's why I'm going to be sticking with that. So let's just finish up on the my macro 9 points. Yeah, so we're almost at this 3% 10-year interest rate. So we got the Fed meeting tomorrow. So I expect a lot of volatility over the next couple of days here. So if you've been following my previous videos, I've been talking about wanting to come in and test this $37,000 number, and we're almost there. So I think sometime this week we could definitely come and do that. And if you aren't familiar, I am still very bullish overall. But just short term, I've been very bearish. I really want to see a nice move down with some nice volume support. So there seems to be a lot of support at this $38,000 level, which is really nice. But I still want to see just this kind of last capitulation lower, and really now that we have this month's pivots set up here, we can test lower and then come and move and start testing the central pivot here for this month. I would definitely like to see that. So I guess the same would be true with Ethereum. We got the central pivot here. Like I've said before, I wanted to move lower and then move higher on that. So overall, still, I think we're going to have a buying opportunity. There's a lot of fear in the market, and that's when you want to buy. And looking at these previous lows here, it seems like there could be something. It's not a bad time to start taking risk, right? So that's what I'm looking at for the overall markets, and definitely tomorrow will be very telling. So one more dip, and that's where we want to buy. So we'll just go ahead and finish it here with the play out of this pivot chart. And as you can see, we got this making its way a little bit lower down this 2,500. Maybe we just go slightly lower and then we can start making some real moves here. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll catch you later.